When news broke in August 2025 that Jungkook, the youngest member of BTS, had surpassed 9.4 billion streams on Spotify as a soloist, the global music industry took notice. The figure itself was staggering, so large that even many veteran Western superstars with decades-long careers had not reached similar milestones. To understand the magnitude of this achievement, it is necessary to place the number in context, how it compares to other global artists, what it reveals about the consumption patterns of modern audiences, and why such an accomplishment by an Asian artist carries deeper industry significance. Spotify, now the world's leading music streaming platform, has fundamentally changed the way audiences consume music. The company reports over 600 million monthly active users in 2025, with more than 250 million paid subscribers. In such an environment, streaming figures have become the new metric of musical dominance, often overshadowing traditional album sales or radio play. A billion streams no longer represents just a numerical milestone. It equates to sustained visibility, market penetration, and cultural presence across continents. For context, global artists like Drake, Taylor Swift, and The Weeknd have consistently dominated Spotify's all-time streaming charts. Drake remains the most streamed artist overall, crossing well beyond 80 billion cumulative streams. However, for an Asian soloist, particularly one releasing material primarily in a language outside of English, to reach 9.4 billion on their solo profile represents not just commercial success, but also a cultural breakthrough. Historically, the global music market has been dominated by Western acts, with non-English-speaking artists facing challenges in playlist inclusion, algorithmic reach, and radio promotion. Jungkook's 9.4 billion streams were not the product of one viral hit alone. While his track 7 featuring Latto became an international sensation, earning billions of plays on its own, the cumulative figure reflects consistency across multiple songs and projects. Tracks like Standing Next to You, 3D, and his contributions to the BTS discography all added to his profile's robustness. Each release, regardless of whether it topped charts, accumulated millions of streams daily, proving that the momentum behind him was not fleeting but sustained. Industry analysts often emphasize that 1 billion streams on Spotify can be roughly equated to between $3 million to $4 million in royalties, depending on territory and distribution agreements. By this measure, Jungkook's 9.4 billion streams hold not just symbolic weight, but also tangible financial implications, reinforcing his role as a top-earning soloist within the K-pop industry. Beyond financials, the scale of streaming speaks to the influence of his music in everyday cultural life. Whether it is being used in TikTok trends, workout playlists, cafe soundtracks, or global radio rotations, yet the sheer size of the number has prompted debates. Some skeptics argue that mass streaming campaigns led by BTS's fanbase, known as ARMY, may artificially inflate figures. Organized fan projects often include step-by-step tutorials on how to maximize streams without violating platform rules, ensuring that Jungkook's songs remain in rotation on user accounts worldwide. Others counter that this is no different from how Western fandoms rally behind their artists. Taylor Swift's fans, for instance, also engage in organized streaming drives during album release cycles. The difference lies in scale. BTS's ARMY is arguably the most global, coordinated, and active fanbase in the world. The milestone also highlights the shifting geography of cultural power. For decades, the music industry was largely driven by the US and Europe, with occasional international breakthroughs. Jungkook's achievement signals that Asia is no longer merely a consumer market for Western music, but a producer of global superstars who dominate international platforms on their own terms. His streams come not only from Korea or Southeast Asia, but also from North America, Europe, and Latin America, regions where K-pop was once considered niche. Comparisons with other Asian artists further illustrate the weight of Jungkook's numbers. Japanese acts, despite dominating their domestic market, rarely achieve billions of streams globally due to limited international distribution. Other K-pop soloists, including his BTS bandmates, have also posted impressive numbers. Jimin, V, Suga, RM, and Jin each saw strong solo debuts, but none yet matched Jungkook's pace of growth. His trajectory suggests a unique combination of personal brand appeal, musical accessibility, and international marketing support. Spotify's role must also be considered. The platform's editorial playlisting system plays a major part in determining which songs find global audiences. Placement on lists such as Today's Top Hits, Global Top 50, and genre-focused playlists can expose a track to millions of passive listeners who may not actively seek out K-pop. Jungkook's songs consistently earned prime positions in these playlists, a reflection of both demand and strategic negotiation between HYB and Spotify. Unlike in the early 2010s, when K-pop was largely confined to niche playlists, by 2025 it has become central to Spotify's global pop identity, and Jungkook stands at the forefront. Moreover, 9.4 billion streams represent more than just music. They symbolize the success of cross-cultural branding, where an artist from South Korea can collaborate with Western rappers, perform at the FIFA World Cup opening ceremony, and feature in Calvin Klein campaigns, all while maintaining his identity as a K-pop idol. Each of these cultural intersections feeds into streaming numbers, as casual listeners exposed to Jungkook through non-musical channels eventually migrate to Spotify to explore his catalog. In practical terms, achieving 9.4 billion streams also underscores the transformation of fan engagement in the digital era. Where once music consumption was measured by physical album sales, a model that limited global distribution due to shipping and costs, streaming has democratized access. A teenager in Brazil, a university student in India, or an office worker in Germany can all contribute equally to Jungkook's Spotify tally, creating a level of interconnectedness that was previously impossible. Tio put it simply, 9.4 billion streams are not just a reflection of popularity. They are evidence of systemic shifts in how music is marketed, consumed, and valued globally. They show how fandoms mobilize, how corporations strategize, and how individual artistry can intersect with digital algorithms to create unprecedented results. Jungkook's milestone, therefore, cannot be viewed in isolation. It is not merely a celebration of one artist's success, but also a case study in how the global music industry now operates. As we move deeper into this analysis, the central question remains: are these numbers primarily the product of Jungkook's hard work, talent, and dedication, or are they largely the outcome of HYB's calculated and powerful marketing strategies? To answer this, we must first explore Jungkook's evolution as an artist, his training, skill development, and solo identity, before contrasting it with the corporate machinery that supports him. To evaluate whether Jungkook's record-breaking 9.4 billion streams are the result of his own hard work or HYB's marketing strategies, it is essential to first examine Jungkook's foundation as an artist. Long before his name appeared on Spotify's charts, his reputation was built on years of intensive training, dedication to craft, and the gradual development of a solo identity within the larger framework of BTS. Understanding the depth of his artistic journey helps clarify to what extent his personal effort has translated into measurable global success. Jungkook's path to becoming a global music figure began at a very young age. In 2011, he was scouted by Big Hit Entertainment, now HYB, after appearing on a Korean audition program. Unlike many idols who enter the industry in their mid to late teens, Jungkook began formal training when he was only 13 to 14 years old. His decision to join Big Hit rather than larger agencies such as JYP or SM Entertainment was influenced by a personal encounter with RM, BTS's leader, which convinced him of the company's vision and potential. From the outset, Jungkook's training was demanding. K-pop trainees typically undergo years of vocal lessons, dance practice, language instruction, and media training, often without any guarantee of debut. Reports suggest that Jungkook trained for approximately 2 years before officially debuting as a member of BTS in 2013 at the age of 15. The formative years shaped his discipline. Daily schedules could include up to 12 hours of practice, rehearsals late into the night, and regular evaluations. What distinguished Jungkook from many of his peers was his versatility. While some idols specialize in one area, either vocals, rap, or dance, Jungkook consistently demonstrated strength across multiple domains. His vocal range, particularly his ability to deliver stable live performances, quickly earned him recognition as the main vocalist of BTS. Simultaneously, his athleticism and natural rhythm positioned him as one of the group's strongest dancers. In addition to singing and dancing, Jungkook showed early interest in production, arrangement, and video editing. BTS's Golden Closet Films (GCF), a series of short films created and edited by Jungkook, demonstrated his technical skills behind the camera and reinforced his reputation as an all-around creative. Such initiatives highlighted his willingness to go beyond the standard idol responsibilities and engage in multiple facets of artistry. From 2013 to 2020, Jungkook's identity was deeply tied to BTS's trajectory. As the youngest member, he carried the label of maknae, often perceived as the little brother figure within the group. However, as BTS's music matured, so did Jungkook's role. His vocal performances became increasingly central in songs like Euphoria, Begin, and My Time, tracks that showcased his emotional depth and technical control. The period also marked a gradual shift towards solo recognition. While these songs were released under the BTS umbrella, they were credited as Jungkook's individual contributions, laying the foundation for his solo career. Importantly, Euphoria became one of the longest-charting K-pop songs on Billboard's World Digital Song Sales chart, reinforcing the idea that his individual work resonated strongly even before he launched an official solo project. The real test of Jungkook's artistry came with his solo releases outside of BTS's group framework. Beginning in 2022 and intensifying through 2023 to 2024, Jungkook released tracks that were explicitly marketed as solo singles. 7 Feet Lato was the defining breakthrough, debuting at #1 on Billboard's Hot 100 and topping Spotify's global chart. The song's catchy production, combined with Jungkook's smooth vocals and Lato's rap verse, reflected a deliberate effort to position him as a global pop act rather than a niche K-pop idol. Subsequent releases like 3D, Feat. Jack Harlow, and Standing Next to You further consolidated his solo identity. Each song highlighted different aspects of his artistry. 3D leaned into hip-hop and R&B influences, while Standing Next to You carried a retro-pop sound with a focus on vocal performance. Unlike one-off viral moments, these singles demonstrated range and sustained creative output. Accounts from fellow members, producers, and behind-the-scenes footage consistently portrayed Jungkook as exceptionally hardworking. He is known to rehearse obsessively, repeating vocal takes until satisfied and perfecting choreography through countless repetitions. Unlike some idols who rely heavily on post-production polishing, Jungkook emphasizes live stability, ensuring that his stage performances match studio recordings. Furthermore, his dedication extends to self-improvement. He has repeatedly mentioned in interviews his desire to learn instruments, expand his songwriting capabilities, and push beyond comfort zones. In an industry where idols often follow strict company guidance, Jungkook's proactive pursuit of skill development marks him as an artist invested in personal growth. Of course, artistry is never free from critique. Some industry observers argue that Jungkook's solo material leans heavily on Western producers and songwriting teams, raising questions about originality and creative independence. Others point out that his reliance on English-language tracks could dilute his K-pop identity. Still, these criticisms also reflect the realities of operating in a globalized industry where crossover success often requires collaboration and adaptation. What remains undeniable is that Jungkook has consistently delivered strong performances across varying musical styles. Whether singing ballads, executing intricate choreography, or engaging with live audiences, he has demonstrated technical competence and versatility. These qualities form the backbone of his success and suggest that his 9.4 billion streams cannot be attributed solely to external marketing. It is also important to consider the delicate balance Jungkook maintains between being a BTS member and a soloist. Unlike Western acts who often pursue fully independent solo careers, Jungkook's work exists alongside BTS's group identity. This dual positioning requires careful management. He must distinguish himself enough to justify solo streams while maintaining cohesion with the group's brand. His ability to achieve both simultaneously speaks to both personal discipline and strategic planning. From his rigorous training as a teenager to his evolution as a versatile performer, Jungkook's artistry reflects years of consistent hard work and skill refinement. His solo projects reveal an individual identity capable of attracting billions of streams on its own merit. While HYB's marketing and BTS's collective power undoubtedly play a role, it is clear that Jungkook's personal contributions, his talent, training, and discipline form the essential foundation upon which the 9.4 billion streams were built.